We now live in a tyranny of technology. Every time you go on the internet and see advertising these days, it's actually produced by an algorithm rather than by a creative opinion. The wonderful thing about how advertising creatives work is that you're always working in partnership. And I'm a strong believer in the power of partnership and in the power of partnership between opposites. And I felt that the more I was respectful of that power and that partnership, the better my work would be. I think at the core, creative teamwork is vital. And so I willingly took a back seat, I think, in my producing years to my art director partners. But I think it was a combination of my conceptual power and their design sense that made work that resonated, that was good. And I had a couple of really kind of seminal moments for myself personally where I understood that my solution was not the best, and that someone who was more of a lateral thinker, more of an abstract thinker, had something that I admired that I couldn't do myself alone. And so once you have a few of those, then you get the message and you understand.
And I wondered when I saw that you became the global executive creative director of Wieden+Kennedy with 1,600 employees, how you ever had time for any creativity.
I was able to justify in my head that making a place for creative people was a creative pursuit. Because I think creativity is a lot about empathy. We now live in a tyranny of technology. And where consumer research was a substitute for intuition and gut and creative taste from weak clients who didn't either trust the partners that they had hired to do the job or trust themselves, now we actually have machines that verify on some level statistical averages. And you want to find something that's harder to debate than consumer research? Try data. And frankly, the data is surpassing the creative process entirely, because every time you go on the internet and see advertising these days, it's actually produced by an algorithm rather than by a creative opinion.
Can data predict trends?
It can't create drastic change. And I think that's what is still fortunately within the wheelhouse of the creative impact on a business, is this power to make some massive change, to reformat, because data still only works to a certain extent on what's already known and predicts based on that. So to make real kind of transformative change requires some sort of spark out of left field.
And how do you argue with a client who comes in with all this data when in fact you have an idea that you feel from your experience, your ability to know what our culture loves, might work?
It's how you argue anything, which is to understand the counterpoint of view and to understand it deeply so that you can debate intelligently. The gone are the days of, the creative director hopping up on the table and throwing a temper tantrum.
How are things differently in this company, Opinionated, for your life, your functioning?
Most importantly, I'm creating again, which was, since I've been managing for so long, I kind of convinced myself that I was a good creative, but that I was a much better manager, because I just kind of resolved myself to that. But re-engaging in the act of creativity, in writing copy, in sitting with my art director and coming up with ideas, and in going to shoots and managing shoots, I'm really good at it. And I forgot how much I just freaking love it. And it the spark of having a creative problem, and then it hits you like lightning. You're like, oh my God, I know what we're doing. I got it. I know what we're doing. Is the absolute. You're 100% in the present. You're not worried about the future. You're not caring about what's happened in the past. You're 100% right there, and it's not work in any way. It is the ultimate high of play.